Absolute Batman just met Wonder Woman for the very first time in the Absolute universe.
Peak fiction incoming.
And things did not go the way that I expected because they actually ended up throwing hands. So go grab your food, kick your smelly feet up, and prepare to jump into this issue. So initially our issue picks up in Gateway City at the residence of Veronica Kell, and while looking over her shoulder at a bunch of Batman and Wonder Woman merchandise, it's revealed that she's actually in the midst of a conversation with the one and only Jack Grimm. And as we learned from the last issue of Absolute Batman, Jack Grimm is the legal name of Absolute Joker. Nevertheless, him and Veronica's discussion was out of pure frustration with the heroes uprising lately, because the reason different kinds of Wonder Woman and Batman merch was popping up out of nowhere, whether it be in the form of a plushie or a chess set, was because people all over the world were slowly starting to become inspired by them after witnessing or hearing about their acts of heroism. As the first page comes to a close though, the Joker would then express that although the heroes were a big symbol, it also meant that they were big targets, before confirming that Wonder Woman was falling for some bait that they set up recently somewhere inside Gotham City. After that, we go over to Gotham City itself in the midst of a giant magical bat symbol being projected from a skyscraper as Batman was beating up some thugs in an alleyway. So after properly dealing with the thugs, he decided to get a closer look at the bat symbol by hanging from a nearby building, but before he could finish his observation, Absolute Wonder Woman suddenly appeared out of thin air, expressing that she was impressed with his ability to be so quiet, especially since he was such a big person. So Bruce unraveled himself from his bat cocoon before gliding on down to the source of the bat symbol and asking if she made it by using magic. And after confirming that that was indeed the case, Diana indicated that it seemed like the most polite way of getting his attention, stating that she didn't want to wander around his city uninvited, but he was a very hard man to find. As we move forward though, our two heroes would then properly introduce themselves before taking a seat on the ledge of the building, but because he was still curious about the source of Diana's powers, Bruce would then ask her if she could explain what her definition of magic was, so Diana emphasized that it was a form of advanced chemistry with unconventional intentions and unusual resources. But just like Bruce, Diana had her own curiosities as well, asking Bruce where he got the courage to hurl himself off of skyscrapers despite not having the ability to fly. But unwilling to give out too much information about himself, Bruce would simply imply that he did the things he did out of necessity. Shortly after that though, Diana figured it was time to cut to the chase and quit with the small talk, telling Bruce that her being in Gotham wasn't by accident because she needed his help solving a case about 4 murders. Knowing that his city was a freaking hellhole though, Bruce was confused about what was so special about these murders in particular, stating that 4 murders would barely even make it to the news these days. But according to Diana, these murders were different because at each one of the crime scenes there was a bloody version of the Mark of Hecate symbol, which was the same symbol that was placed on her right shoulder. Nevertheless, after that, Diana would bring up the fact that detective work wasn't really one of her strong points, but she did have a friend who was pretty good in